Hello and welcome to this hands-on lab where we will explore AWS Elastic Beanstalk. In this session, we will deploy a sample node application on Elastic Beanstalk and observe what all components Elastic Beanstalk creates while deploying the sample node app. Then, in part 2 of this session, we will see what happens, what is Elastic Beanstalk behavior if we deploy this modified sample node app. So we will download this sample node app from AWS docs, and then we will modify it a bit just to change the background. And then we can upload this sample app and then deploy it in environment to see what is the behavior. I think if you're able to achieve these two, we will be in a good position to do hands-on lab on Elastic Beanstalk as far as DevOps workflows are concerned. All right, cool. So let us first go ahead and create our first Elastic Beanstalk application. Create application. Application name, my first app. In fact, let me say my first Elastic Beanstalk app. And then platform. So you can deploy applications for these platforms. These are the available platforms as of today. It is increasing with every passing at least quarter or 6 months or so, right? I've seen it grow. So I've seen this list grow actually. So we will select Node.js. Although we have Node.js 14.x available now, but the latest that we get, which is supported here, is 12. So we'll go with this platform version 5.2.3. Now, let us stick with deploying sample application for this lab. In future, we will deploy our own application. All right, create application. It is a process that will take some time, between 3 to 5 minutes. This is what my observation is. And if you watch this space very carefully, you will learn what all resources are created. Okay, and they are S3 bucket, target group, security group for EC2 instance, security group for application load balancer, auto-scaling launch configuration, auto-scaling group, auto-scaling policies, CloudWatch alarm, application load balancer listener, and then EC2 instance. And this sample app is deployed on this EC2 instance. So it actually creates a very scalable, if not very scalable, at least scalable enough to handle medium traffic and secure enough. Okay. And yeah, allow me to pause the video here, and then we will resume once we have the sample node app deployed. Okay. So now deployment is done, and we have our Elastic Beanstalk application up and running. This is what you get if you click on this. All right, which is my first EBS app -env. So when you deploy any application, it creates two things. It creates an application version and then environment for that application. Application version actually contains the version that you have uploaded. Okay, and environment is where you actually have deployed your application, and the URL is available here to see this application. So this is your application, sample node application with a green background. All right, now let us go ahead and see what all components are created automatically. So we can see that an Elastic Beanstalk AP South 1 and the account number, this particular S3 bucket is created as soon as we made our first deployment. So it's not that every time we make a deployment, it is going to be created. It is only for the first time. All right. Second, we will get a launch configuration. Okay. As you can see, this is the launch configuration. This is what we get here. All right. It has some user data as well. Although I won't get deeper into what it contains. In your own time, you can explore this. It's completely up to you. But you get a launch configuration, and you also get an auto-scaling group to spin up EC2 instances from this launch configuration. And by default, it has one instance. And that is why if you will go to instances, you will find one instance running. This is where my first EBS app -env. So this is where your application sample node app is deployed. Now, you will also see target group. This one. Okay, this is created and it has this EC2 instance provisioned, registered. Okay. You have the load balancer created as well. And this load balancer is sending traffic through its listener to the target group that we just saw. You can say it. Exactly. Forward to this target group, 100%. All right. And then there are security groups for EC2 instance and application load balancer. So if you want to see, you can, these are the two. Okay. So one is for EC2 instance, one is for ALB. What is the inbound rule? 80 from all the sources. And okay, this needs to be explained, although I'll explain it in future labs as well. So this is the security group which is associated with your EC2 instance. And the source is application load balancer. So what this security group is ensuring is only traffic coming from application load balancer will be accepted by this EC2 instance because of this entry. Okay. And the application load balancer will accept any traffic, port 80. So this is a very secure way of forwarding traffic via your application load balancer to your EC2 instance. Great. So are we missing something? Yes, we are actually missing the alarms. So you will get two alarms. So allow me to open CloudWatch. Okay. And these will be for scale in and scale out policy. So these two will be created by, in fact, these two have been created by EC2 instances. Okay. One is in alarm state. So one is for scaling in, one is for scaling out. So there are two alarms created that the auto scaling group listens to perform scale in and scale out operations. So that's pretty much it. This is how this environment looks. And in the next session, which is a continuation to what we are doing here, we will change this application a bit. For that, let us go to the application version, okay, which is still the very first version, and let us download this. Okay. So here it is downloaded. No, it is not. I'm so sorry. We have to download it somewhere here. So these are all the sample applications from Docker to go to Tomcat to .NET Core. Ours is Node.js. So we will download the zip. And what we will do now is we will unzip it and we will open it up in our development environment, which is Visual Studio Code, and just make the change so that this background color is something else. That's it. We will see that in the next lesson. Thank you and looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson.